What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the Heat Report. And the Miami Heat are back playing basketball tonight against the Oklahoma City Thunder. As you guys can see, the title of this video is Need to Bounce Back, because that's what we need to do. Must-win game for us tonight, especially because we just lost the last one late in egg against the Mavericks. So we do have to bounce back, and I think we can. So before we even dive into how we should beat the Thunder, in our preview of this game, I just want to remind you guys to please make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, because I just created a Twitter account, and I will be updating you guys throughout the game, just giving my thoughts on how we're playing each game, and it'll be fun. So follow me on Twitter. I'll put the link in the description. And same with my podcast that I've actually started with my friends a couple weeks ago. So just hit a follow on both of those, and join the community, guys. And also just comment down below what your score predictions are for this game, because it's going to be a huge game for us, especially because we lost against the Mavericks a couple days ago. Now, when we're talking about the injuries, Avery Bradley actually is doubtful because he did not practice yesterday due to COVID-19 league and safety protocols. Don't really know how much what that means as to how long it's gonna keep him out for. I don't really expect him to play tomorrow because he didn't practice yesterday, but if he does, it's a bonus for us because he's been huge for us off the bench or whether he's starting. But if he doesn't play, expect a lot more minutes to Kendrick Nunn, and I think Kendrick Nunn needs to be given more minutes. I think his confidence is really being killed right now. Last year he finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting, and this year he's kind of been taken out of the rotation and started he's been playing less than 10 minutes a game, and we need to build that confidence back. And Spo needs to tell him to drive to the rim every time instead of settling for contested jump shots and shooting contested threes, because that's not the Kendrick Nunn that we know and we love. As far as the Thunder, Ty Jerome, Alexei Pokusevski, I hope I'm saying that right, I practiced it like 10 times, and Trevor Ariza are all out, and I think Ty Jerome is actually a game time decision, but I think that the other two are probably out because Pokusevski got a concussion and Trevor Ariza has been injured the whole season so far. So obviously we know the Thunder aren't the greatest team. They made a boatload of trades to get picks for the future and build around their one guy, which is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and put some pieces around him. But I have watched this team. I watched the game against the Pelicans because I'm a big fan of the Pelicans team. I like the Pelicans a lot, so I wanted to see how they would play against the Thunder, and they ended up beating the Thunder, but the Thunder competed. And if you're a Thunder fan, that's all you can ask for, because this team isn't going to be that great, but as long as you compete, and as long as some of the young guys that they have are showing up, then they'll be fine. And guys like they have a lot of young guys that have been contributing for them. Guys like Isaiah Roby, Darius Baisley, Theo Maledon, Pokusevski. All these guys have been playing some quality minutes for them. So I'm really excited to see how this Thunder team would fare against the Miami Heat. They are they are one of the worst offensive and defensive teams in the league. They rank at 29th for both of them, so they're not great at anything basically. The thing about the Thunder is that all they can do is compete, because they don't really have the pieces to keep up with all the other elite teams in the league. They are prone to turning the ball over, and they're inconsistent from three. So those three things, or those four things, are characterize the Thunder team. So we should be winning this game. If we don't win this game, there's something wrong. Because no disrespect to the Thunder, but I think they're probably the worst team in the NBA right now. Which is saying something, because the NBA has a lot of good teams, but there are some bottom teams in the NBA, and the Thunder might be the worst of them all. Having said all that, we shouldn't take the Thunder for granted, because they are still an NBA team, and they still have pieces that can hurt us on any given night, particularly Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And that's why my marquee matchup will probably be Jimmy Butler against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, because I thought Jimmy Butler had a terrible game against the Mavericks. If he plays, which I think he probably will play against the Thunder, then he better play. You better have a bounce back game, because he's probably going to be getting the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander assignment. I think he's probably going to be the one guarding him, because Avery Bradley's out. I don't know if it's gonna be Iguodala because I don't know if Iguodala is even gonna start. He might. I'm not sure. And that leaves he's the best defender, the best perimeter defender after that. So he's probably gonna get the defensive assignment on Shea. And Shea is obviously their best player. He's our best player. It's going to be a good matchup between them two. We need to get a more aggressive Jimmy Butler because I know he wants to get his teammates involved in the regular season. He wants to be a little bit more passive, build some confidence in the young guys, which is cool and all. But, there are some moments where we just need him to take over. And I thought he did that really well in the playoffs last year. He did get his teammates involved, but he did, take over at times. He needs to get back to that. And maybe he will because maybe last game against the Mavericks, he was just a little bit rusty after his injury. But I've seen people, saying, well, we all blame Paul George for, what he did in the playoffs. Where's the hate for Jimmy Butler? So I'm going to defend Jimmy real quick and say, Jimmy Butler shows up in the playoffs. Paul George in the last couple playoffs hasn't really done that. So I'm gonna defend Jimmy on that. And I know what Jimmy's capable of. It's just a matter of fact of if he wants to do it in the regular season. And I mean, I think we might need an earlier version of aggressive playoff Jimmy because we're 2-3 right now. We haven't had the greatest of the starts, and we have to start getting going. We have to start being back on track because the season is short and it's 72 games. We can't afford to drop too many games and lay eggs against teams that we should be beating. The Thunder starting lineup will probably be George Hill, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Darius Bazley, Al Horford. Pretty, well-rounded starting lineup. I actually like that starting lineup a lot for the Thunder. Their bench is consistent of a lot of young guys and Mike Muscala. So, I think we can attack. I think their bench isn't that great, to be honest, because they are a bit short-handed on pieces. But the starting lineup is still pretty competent. Lou Dort can, I don't know. I think Lou Dort might get that the Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson assignment, or it might be Shea. I don't know. But we're gonna have to, we're gonna really have to be on our game against that starting lineup because Al Horford has been playing pretty well recently. Darius Bazley is a guy that I really like. He's kind of like a Lamar Odom. He's a point forward kind of person. Similar size. He's a guy that he didn't play at all last year, but this year he's getting a lot of minutes and deservedly so. He's a very good player. For the Heat, the player to look out for is Duncan Robinson for sure. I think Duncan is, last game he was terrible. Like he was in a slump. Like last game he was my player to watch too because I thought the Mavericks would give him a lot of open shots, and they did, but Duncan just wasn't hitting them. We need him to start, hitting those shots that he was getting against the Mavericks, because since that Pelicans game, it hasn't really been, the best of shooting nights for Duncan. We need him. We need Duncan. Without Duncan, like, I don't think a lot of people realize how big Duncan is to our, offense. We need to get that offense going. I think defensively we've been all right, but offensively, it's either we're turning the ball over or we're just not making shots. So we just have to fix those two things. I think we'll be fine. And I do think we'll win this game. Whether it be a close game or not, I want to say blowout, but I think the Thunder always make it competitive. And judging the way we've been playing recently, I'm not really confident in us blowing out, a team. I think we still have to get, on the same page. And we do have to get things going. So I probably will say we'll win in a close game. One of the things that I really wanted to ask you guys is, who do you think should start at the power forward position? Because we know it's going to be Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy, and then Bam at the center. But that power forward position, do you guys want it to be Iguodala? Do you guys want it to be Jay Crowder? Not Jay Crowder. Oh, why am I saying Jay Crowder? We miss Jay Crowder a lot, bro. He's on my mind right now because I just can't believe, how much he meant to our offense last year. Iguodala, Mo Harkless, Kelly Olynyk, Myers Leonard, Precious maybe. Who do you want to start at that power forward position? Because I think that's what we're missing right now. We really, really miss a power forward that can stretch the floor, do something. Because Mo Harkless hasn't done anything. Like I don't want to see Mo Harkless start. I'll tell you that, because he hasn't shown me anything. Do you want it to be KZ? I don't know. Because the options right now, I'll give you guys the options. It's either Andre Iguodala, Mo Harkless, KZ, Precious will probably come off the bench, so it's not going to be Precious for sure. Myers Leonard, Kelly Olynyk. who should start out of these 5 or 6 guys at the power forward position. Let me know down in the comments below, because I'm really trying to figure that out as well, because we've had 5 different starting lineups in our first 5 games, which is unreal, which means we're still trying to figure out the right mix. We don't have a consistent, lineup that Spo trusts yet, and we're gonna have to try to figure that out fast. Otherwise, we're gonna be in deep trouble in the next couple games. So let me know down below who you think our starting power forward should be, what your score predictions are, and what do you think this team needs to fix in general to get back on track. Any trades we need to make, any signings, let me know down in the comments below, because trade deadline, buyout market, we can obviously hit that. It's not coming to a little while, but there are players out there that haven't been signed yet. So let me know down in the comments below, guys. Also, follow me on Twitter, as I said before, at the Heat Report. Search up the Heat Report, it'll probably be there. And hit my podcast up, Ball Don't Lie Podcast. I'll put both links in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Hopefully we win this game, guys.